Hello again, everyone. It's Nick Michalak, Steve Frazier.
Hello again.
In the conclusion to our Elm Street commentary series with Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Wait, we're not going to do, like, the remake?
No. We discussed that.
The worst thing in the history of cinema?
The crime to Wes Craven's soul.
Sorry.
We
digress.
Here's a tribute to Wes Craven's soul. God rest him.
Absolutely.
So, guys, this is an audio commentary, no video accompany this, but sync it with your own copy by hitting the timestamp to 0 and pressing play now.
Only pray if you're going to watch the remake. Oh, dear. Even Freddy vs. Jason, not good.
No, not in retrospect. I mean, the opening weekend for that film, I was all hyped up for it, so I was kind of like gung-ho for it, but after very shortly, I was not very high.
Look at this brilliant homage to the first film, right off the bat.
Yeah.
Like 100%. He's even wearing a red and green sweater.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you haven't seen this, you don't know why, but...
Well, imagine you'd have watched the film before.
I would assume that this isn't your first go-around.
You'd listen to Wes's commentary before you even listen to ours, I'm sure.
That doesn't look like a case steak knife.
No.
This is not Lou Carlucci and Jim Doyle. That's pretty cool.
I had a friend point out that the design of the glove in this film is very much like the design of the glove in the original poster for Elm Street.
Sure.
So
yeah, I forget that artist's name, but he did all the art for all those.
Yeah.
More blood.
More blood.
Is that Paul Rudd?
I don't think so. He would. Yeah.
I mean, this is what, October of '94?
Yes. And it had like an $8 million budget. Only made about $19 million worldwide.
19?
19 million worldwide, the lowest grossing of the entire franchise.
That's a shame.
Part of that is, as we were discussing shortly before we started this, is that it was opened the same day as Pulp Fiction.
Oh.
Which earned about $200 million at the box office, and Shawshank Redemption, which only earned about $50 million.
Both of which nominated for Best Picture. This one not.
No.
I love Miko Hughes.
He is fantastic in this movie. You love Pet Sematary, too.
I love Pet Sematary. I love Heather Langenkamp. She's even wearing, like, pajamas that are similar to her rose pajamas from the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, I like film sets. I like...
Yeah.
I mean, this kid is outstanding.
Oh, absolutely. He doesn't look like a receding hairline Paul Rudd.
Yeah, I thought for a minute. The other guy kind of looked like Phil Collin from Def Leppard. So, we've now learned that Heather's going by Heather, that this is actually Heather Langenkamp.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, I rescind my Def Leppard comment. That guy's...
Not quite, no. He doesn't... The hair's not right. He doesn't look badass enough to be Phil Collins.
No. He's much more dorky.
Yes.
I got a profile view on that first one, so I'm sorry. Oh, dear. Maybe it was the earring. So...
There you go.
Oh.
Right off the bat here.
That's kind of a cool visual effect there. I mean...
Yeah, they use a lot of... and pretty much every kind of visual effect available at the time. The digital stuff, the opticals, matte paintings.
I mean, that didn't look like, string or, it's clearly a computer thing.
Yeah, they're definitely doing some green screen work to accomplish that, because they had, like, these rod puppets with the glove and everything.
Right, that's definitely green or blue screen at the time.
Probably the same effect they used in the Addams Family movies for Thing.
Probably. Probably. I mean, that's cool.
That's cool.
And, like, that's kind of weird.
I mean, it's nice you're seeing right from the beginning of this film, you just got a boost in quality of everything. I mean, the effects are more modern looking, seamless, and the cinematography is a lot more naturalistic.
It feels like a pro film. It doesn't feel like a low-budget horror.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's shot by Mark Irwin, who pretty much did all of Cronenberg's films in the 80s with Scanners, Videodrome, Dead Zone, The Fly. So, I mean, this guy knows how to shoot a film, especially a horror film.
Well, this was life in L.A. for
a little while.
A while, yeah.
Yeah, this is... they were about to... I don't know if they were about to wrap shooting or somewhere in the later part of production, they actually had the 94 LA earthquake.
I think we're going to get there, but it's one of the coolest, like, bits of trivia in movie history that they filmed a movie and just happened to have an actual earthquake happen during production and get that B-roll footage.
To enhance the production value of the film.
All they had to do was walk outside.
Yeah. Otherwise, they would have spent millions of dollars on model shots and matte paintings and shit to do that.
Uh-oh. It's starting to happen again.
Starting to happen.
Like my friend Jesse says in 2. She is just a beautiful woman.
Oh, she is gorgeous in this film. I love how they just...
She might have peaked right here. Maybe not. I mean, she's still beautiful.
She looks wonderful today. But this film...
Now that right there, that's actual footage of LA.
Yeah,
they walked outside.
Yeah.
I mean, really? You cannot get... I mean, right place, right time. You could not get any luckier.
Yeah.
Look at that microwave. I bet that thing cost $800 in '94.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I don't imagine Heather Langenkamp having a, bottom of the rung microwave.
No.
I've never once made a Freddy out of my oatmeal.
That's unfortunate.
And Heather Langenkamp is actually married to a special effects guy.
Yeah.
So, not this guy.
Yeah, he chose not to bring that much reality in the film. He wanted to keep it a little separated, so they cast this gentleman.
It's just, I don't know how much... I don't remember a trailer for this film, so I don't know what people...
I watched them again last night, and I think another reason why the film probably didn't do as well as it could have is that I don't think they knew how to market the film, because...
You didn't want to give away the ending?
Well, no. Well, because the teaser trailer for the film is has all this docudrama type of footage in black and white, where interviewing Bob Shea about the making of the film, inside the film, and stuff like that. So it seemed very confusing how they were trying to market it in the trailers.
I mean, there probably would have been a really nice way of saying, she's playing Heather Langenkamp, and show Robert Englund playing Robert Englund.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there's something weird going on, and maybe there's a real entity.
Yeah. I mean, if this was made 10 years later, they already had basis for The Matrix and stuff. They kind of have an idea how to approach a mind-bending, reality-twisting type of film.
Well,
What's reality or something? Or
I mean, they cut the trailer together after the movie's done.
Yeah.
Why? Who is the genius at New Line who said, I don't know
which way to go with this.
Right. Clearly, people get paid a lot of money for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're not really breaking down this scene here. He's... she's overly concerned and yada yada. But anyway, I feel like clearly somebody in a higher paid grade than me, should be responsible for, cutting a few scenes together to let people know what the hell it's about.
I mean, even in the trailers, they don't show Freddy that much, which the film doesn't have tons of Freddy, but...
Well, neither did the last one.
No, but this is at least done, we'll get to it, is a lot more of an artistic way of presenting it and everything, but...
in some ways, this movie has more Freddy than the last 2 or 3 combined.
Probably. I mean, just... Yeah.
As Freddy as an entity.
Yeah. He has a presence he's more omnipresent in the film, even if he's not on the screen.
Cut to the Chase FX. Is his name Chase? Is the character's name Chase? Is that...
Chase Porter.
Okay, yeah. That's cool. That's cool. I like the cracked wall. And
yeah.
Now, to me, I was 14 or so when this film came out. Nightmare being like my favorite horror movie. This is outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's almost like... Okay, Miko Hughes is outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a documentary about the characters and the actors that played in my favorite movie, and she's still got the shitty old like phone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a scene right out of the first film, exactly shot for shot. Only this one's not gonna gimmicked for the mouth on it.
That comes far later, but it's.
Goodbye.
It's kind of interesting how, again, you can use a little bit of familiar language from the franchise set before, at least from the first film mainly. But you're weaving around into a different type of reality here.
Sure.
That you don't have obviously Nancy was perished in the franchise, and so you're now seeing the real life people encountering these same things. It makes it even more bizarre.
Right. And, I mean, what a brilliant idea.
Yeah, because, I mean, Wes went back and tried to watch all the sequels, and he didn't make any more sense out of it than we did. So it was like, I can't make heads or tails of this shit. I got to come up with something completely different.
Classic babysitter character here.
I always felt like for so long Tracy Mittendorf here, because she looks so much like Patricia Arquette or Lisa Wilcox that... Was she in one of the previous films or not?
Right. Was this, is this a shout-out?
Such a familiar look to her from all the other blonde-haired ladies in the franchise.
Which, I don't know if that says something bad about this young lady or something bad about the whole rest of the series, where they're all forgettable. And prank phone calls were kind of or not necessarily pranks, but like stalking was an issue for Heather. And for actually some people in some other horror franchises as well.
Yeah, people.
But, you get these, like, crazy fanboys who, in the 80s, who had nothing, there was no internet or anything.
And there's no caller ID yet.
Sure, right. So, they find out where these people live, or they get a hold of a phone number or something. And, like, that's scary.
It's terrifying.
I mean...
These off-balance individuals, you don't know what they're going to do if they come knocking on your door.
I mean, we think that the age that we live in now is scary, but back then...
There's so much more anonymity back then.
Right, sure. That's a good way of putting what I was trying to articulate. There's a Coca-Cola. First time we haven't used a Pepsi in this series. Coke making an appearance.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, they've got the earthquakes, here's the phone calls. They haven't revealed the letter thing yet.
No.
Her eyes are outstanding.
Yeah. They do her up so magnificent. She looks like $10 million star in this film. Just how the wardrobe they put her in, the makeup they put her in, she looks fabulous.
I mean, like, a purple velvet jacket? Come on. I want one. I love that kid.
Oh, I can see in my head Wes working with him, because Wes is such a bright personality. He probably loved working with this kid.
Yeah. I mean, Wes is like, the father or the grandfather
that
everybody always wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know anybody that ever worked on any of his films that didn't like him.
I can't imagine so.
Like, I've never really heard one bad thing about Wes Craven.
And it's interesting with the whole stalker angle that you're kind of setting up a little hint here and there, a little subtle thing, misdirection. There's like a shot a little early on with the babysitter. It's like, like that.
Yeah,
this guy is pretty overt about.
Yeah, this is clearly a misdirection.
Which keeps the momentum of the film forward. Otherwise, if you don't have these little things, I think the film will kind of get, okay, where's it going? What are we doing? What's going on? But if they keep laying something in there, it keeps the film moving forward a little bit until you really get to where it's actually going.
This is the reason I couldn't be a limo driver. Right here. You're that girl. I saw you in that thing.
No one will. You'd have no repeat customers.
No. Hey, remember that thing?
There you go.
Well,
that's your opinion.
Yeah, they never should have killed off Freddy. Well,
did you see the films?
I mean, it might have been.
At least not the way they did it, anyway.
So, there's a little tongue-in-cheek in here, you know, because here, you know, even the talk show host was like, and the limo driver was like, you know, oh hey, that first movie was so great, and then oh yeah, there were those sequels.
Well, she was in one, so that's fair credit.
And here, you know, now she's on a talk show, and she's got a stalker, and the guy's asking her personal questions.
Yeah.
And this was a thing, too. You know, people didn't want to, you know, reveal anything. And now I can go into my Google, and, you know, I can probably find out where Heather lives today if I wanted to.
Let's not expand on that, but yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to her house. I like her too much.
Let's not give people ideas.
I like this lady. I'm not going to go bug her. I'm just saying that information's out there.
Yes.
Can you imagine? Let's put yourself in a situation where you're in the audience and this guy shows up?
Yeah.
How amazing would that be? The Bernstein theme. He did like 4 hours of makeup just for this scene.
And this makeup looks way better than anything like the last film or two.
Yeah. I don't know who did this makeup, but if he'd have looked like this in the last 3 movies,
it would have been
he looked more
so
like
that
mask there. Give me 5. Slice your hand off. And here's the you're all my children now kind of imagery.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, just
that's the same shot.
Iconic figure that he's become.
Interestingly, there's no pool burning.
Yeah, thankfully.
And this is kind of funny that, you know,
Robert's getting all the
he's the big star.
Accolades, everything, and she's just kind of, let's get going here.
Right. Nobody wants to talk to her. And her,
I would spend a couple minutes with Heather, you know.
I have. She's wonderful.
I'm sure she is.
I can't imagine that, you know, the folks that are watching or listening along to these haven't already. But if you haven't, check out the documentary that she did called I Am Nancy. It's a wonderful piece of business that she put together about, you know, kind of the female role of survivor girl and how, you know, her relationship with Robert. It's a great thing. Here's another
nice old cell phone there.
Oh, that's
like an X-Files cell phone.
It's one model up from the Nice Guy Eddie though, the big brick.
Oh, the murder weapon.
Right. And this is actually like the New Line office.
Indeed. And,
you know, some great, you know, little cameos here, like actual. I don't know if like that lady actually works there.
I don't know about the reception. That's
but Sarah
Risher, yeah.
Like the real Sarah Risher.
Indeed.
So lots of cool cameos.
Yeah.
And very, you know, meta and it's all
shooting at the real location, everything. No.
It's pretty easy to do. I mean, like when you really break it down, how simple is this film? And there's Bob, Big Bob, Uncle Bob,
doing his best.
And of course, there's Freddy's Dead is the one that's featured. Great. No bondage this time on Bob.
No.
He had to find a way to work himself in, though, didn't he? Hello. I'll take one. The definitive. So, I wonder if... Are we implying that this film is the definitive one? Because I'm pretty sure she was already in the definitive nightmare. The amount of crap... Like, this is not Bob's office.
This has got to be kind of punched up
There's
a little bit.
No way that Bob has those pictures on the wall. Like, I could see maybe him having a glove or, you know, him having some sort of poster or whatever.
Yeah.
You've always been the star. I mean, look at this. Yeah. How ridiculous is this? That kind of puts a bow on it, doesn't it? Kids love horror.
That's the entire driving motif of the sequels.
Made him $30 million on part 4 alone. What?
This is Wes writing random studio dialogue. This is the way things executives
I don't think anything ever sounds like this. Ever.
No.
So, you know, it's weird. Like, it's kind of hard for us to really break this film down the same way we did the other ones.
Yeah. Because
there's a lot of talking, there's a lot of dialogue.
Yeah.
It's more of a drama, really.
Yeah. It has a much more mature feel to it. It's not dealing with kiddie gags and jokey crap and being very over the top. This is a much more serious, like, psychological thriller.
Yeah, and it's not jump scares, and it's not even really, like, gore, you know, thrill kill.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice that they gave you that punch at the beginning of the film with the dream sequence. With the...
Here's a nice change. She was actually dreaming.
She was actually dreaming.
Oh. Funny how they really only had one rule. And then they fucked it up. And now they went back to it. So, good job, guys. This kid's got a pretty baller bedroom, too, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I mean, the whole house is wonderful. I'd love to live in that place.
I would live there.
Nice in-ground pool in the backyard.
Little Miko is like... Yeah, I find it interesting that he didn't, like, go on to become something huge. Yeah. He's done stuff. I remember... when I met him, and we talked about this film, actually. We talked about Pet Sematary because it's, like, wonderful. But we talked a lot about this film, and he was, you know, I said, hey, what do you have coming up? And he was like, well, I don't really have this, or, you know, and, you know, I've got an audition coming up in a little, and I was... At the time, the Sharknado movie was really popular. Yeah. And I go, "Are you doing Sharknado 2?" Because I was kidding, right? I'm like, "I'm totally down if you do Sharknado 2." And he turned to the gal that he was with, and he's like, "Get my assistant or get my manager on the horn. I want to do Sharknado 2." He ended up not doing it, but super down to earth guy. He's really cool.
Yeah.
On top of the world here for a little while with, you know, from Pet Sematary to Kindergarten Cop to this.
With Arnold.
Right. Yeah. In fact, the gal I was with, when she met him, wanted him to do the line about boys have a penis and girls have a vagina. And he did it. He said it for her. Granted, I mean, he's like 25 years old.
Yeah, the voice is a bit different.
It has no bearing on anything.
More bass in his voice now.
But yeah, he's a great guy. And I he was so good at acting as a kid that I can't imagine that talent is lost. I feel like he needs to be a bigger star.
Yeah, it seems like one of those things. Like if you're a child star, there's a certain section of point where you're going through adolescence, whatnot, where you really just have to keep pushing what kind of films you want to be involved with instead of just kind of still doing the same thing over and over again. You kind of have to grow with your age and everything with your roles. So. Nice little lens flare here, giving a little something there.
So yeah, it's cool that. Well, what were you gonna say?
Oh, well, I was gonna say, well, like we were saying, it's more of a psychological thriller that if you go on this thing expecting another slasher film, your expectations are not going to be met.
No.
That might be something that attributes. I mean, critics love this film,
right? And I think the fans love the film.
Yeah, but I'm sure there are a lot of people like.
But the reason it didn't gross at the box office is
if they did catch on, like if it was a Freddy film, going with the same expectations I had with the last couple of films, that's not what you're going to get from this film.
This is the part, and I was trying to decide where I should mention this, and I guess this is the best part. Shortly after Wes died, I was at an event where Mimi Craven, his ex-wife, and she was in one of the films, was telling a story, and she was with him at the time when he was writing the original film, and she said that every night he would talk about these two stories that he had, and he worked day and night on these two particular films. One was Nightmare, and the other was Hansel and Gretel. And Wes had not a horror, but a much more mature, I guess, horror version of Hansel and Gretel that he wanted to produce in 1980. And it never went anywhere. Nobody ever picked it up, and the script is probably still out there. And when I heard that, I got chills because I knew that he ended up making Hansel and Gretel in the form of a Freddy movie.
Yeah.
How fucking brilliant is this guy? So, she's reading Hansel and Gretel to the kid. There's the whole thing later on.
Which is a slightly odd story to be telling a kid who's kind of been freaking out lately.
You're right, Heather. That might be a bit of a
grim
bad
tale.
Parenting choice.
It's technically a grim tale.
Literally and figuratively.
Both ways. Read him some Dr. Seuss. Maybe he'll sleep better.
I love this imagery right here.
Oh, this is, again, this is so Wes in a certain way that, I mean, he's, again, the jovial, light, he always felt like a kid doing something. And when I saw the interview, he had that youthful spirit. I think this just absolutely lit his soul glow and whatnot, doing this type of stuff. Delving into child innocence and never kind of like poisoning it or anything. It's not like you're taking innocence and you're corrupting it. He always kept it very pure whenever he touched upon it in a film.
Oh, what was that, Heather? Were you saying that you as the parent know best in this situation and your kid actually doesn't know what he's talking about? Is that what you really just said?
And the two of them work so well in this film.
Yeah,
I mean, you feel like this is her real kid.
Yeah.
As if they cast her real kid in this film. This is
I feel like
such a strong relationship.
Much better than her and the husband. Like I don't buy those two at all.
They don't connect. They got like one or two scenes they do anything with, and they don't really have as much juice as these two have together. I mean, this whole film shows how good of an actress she actually is.
Sure. And, I've been saying since the beginning that I thought she was underrated.
Yeah.
Just in the facial expressions and, the,
subtleties and everything.
The real subtle, little motion here or there, or the way she turns her head.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Just like our guy Dan.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Falling asleep at the truck.
At least he doesn't end up getting a motorcycle.
Feeling the need for speed?
Feeling the need for speed.
Oh. Is that like a Nokia cell phone?
Probably.
They were kind of innovators in that early cell phone business. Yeah. It looks like a Nokia. Yeah. I had a Nokia, not like that. I remember being around this time. It was around, the early to mid 90s when a family member of mine had a car phone.
I had a car phone.
You personally?
Yes.
With a dedicated line?
It was wired into the car.
Yeah. And yeah, my family member had a handset right in the center console kind of thing.
I had mine like kind of off to the side and whatnot. It felt like Miami Vice.
Okay. Like, I thought that was like big living. Yeah. Oh, and this is a
nice little digital effect.
Almost directly shot for shot with Dan from 5.
Yeah.
That was cool though. I like the rippling.
Mm-hmm.
And oh. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here we go. There we go.
And hello. And goodbye. Nice little blood there. And it's really cool. Just another little thing that the glove doesn't look like the original glove, but he's a special effects guy who made up a new prop. Like, it works. She's got a lot of purple things in this movie. I'm liking it.
Pretty lavender. I guess it brings out her blue eyes more, I guess. Nice costume design for her.
Maybe they said, hey, what's your favorite color? What do you like? I mean, the movie's about her, right? Let's put every little ounce of...
Oh, shit. She knows what's going
on. There's that great pull-away, zoom-in... Is there a name for that shot?
The Hitchcock shot.
They call it the Hitchcock?
Yeah, I guess he's the one who invented it, or at least his cinematographer did.
Well, there's an unsung hero who doesn't get any credit.
Damn it.
I can't even imagine being in this situation. Either on the receiving end or the telling end.
Or being the kid in the background.
I don't know. When you're his age, I don't know if you'd really understand.
But you kind of see that expression on him. He's got that, again, has that kind of, I don't know, sinister look, but he has a bit of a foreboding look on his face.
Sure.
That he knows something.
I don't know if, and we just heralded her acting chops. I don't know if this scene best encapsulates that, because
maybe not.
I don't know how realistic.
I mean, she's probably playing a couple different things in the scene. It's probably maybe a bit more to juggle. She's got this foreboding feeling in her head. She's dealing with the grief. She's dealing with some other stuff that's been stirring around in the film. So maybe it just wasn't quite locking into place to balance them all at one time.
Yeah, I feel like the grief would have probably been first and foremost, and thoughts of the kid. She didn't even look around to see where the kid was. I'm trying to think like a parent. I'm not a parent, so I don't know, but
yes.
They just let anybody walk in.
Just the cadaver wide open in the middle of the room.
The guy's drinking I mean, why does every medical examiner always have a sandwich in every horror film?
Or every physician is smoking a cigarette.
A cigarette? I mean, this is not 1982. Okay. I think you could still smoke on an airplane, but I can't imagine that you'd be able to just have a sandwich in this room. Why would you want to?
I don't know. The formaldehyde or whatever it is, I don't think it would generate too much of an appetizing air.
Just the smell. Thinking about the smell right now. Oh, here we go. We're putting the pieces together.
Mm-hmm.
You nuts, lady. He knows.
Yeah.
So they can kind of play it off, you know, that it was a car accident.
Yeah.
But
that's not natural for a car accident.
The vomit, though, that's a good touch.
Oh, that's a nice take on that.
I mean, that was straight up Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
But how can that be?
How can it be?
This movie is so cool. I mean, I thought so 22 years ago, and I still do today. Like, I'm trying to put myself back in 94, and I think if I walked into the cinema with, you know, my $5 and my choices were this or Pulp Fiction or, you know, Shawshank or whatever, I mean, I probably would have paid to see this. I was a mature adolescent, but I was a Freddy guy.
Yeah. And it's Wes Craven's new Nightmare. That that adds more to it. And
let's see if we get some good cameos.
Yeah, cameo time.
Nope.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But we're getting there. We're getting there.
All right.
Bob, Robert.
We got John Saxon.
Is that Tuesday Night on the left? It's right next. It was right next to Bob.
Well, there's
Jesus Garcia. Yeah.
And it is Tuesday Night. She wasn't even in her film.
This is just the old shake the camera
right,
bit.
Right. Let's win machine and shake the camera.
Yeah.
And step on the...
Oh. Ouch. Mm.
I'm so busy, like, looking for cameos.
Yeah. Because Wes wanted to get Johnny Depp for this, but he didn't think he would do it, but... I guess he didn't watch the last film because he showed up in that one.
Whoa. So, a little different makeup on that particular Freddy, but still wearing the red and green. And this is such a cool shot.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have thought of something cool like this. I mean, there's something about those...
Yeah, even this part where he just... That's creepy.
That is creepy as shit. And also plausible because she hit her head and she was passed out.
And John Saxon again.
He looks great too.
Oh, fantastic.
I was just thinking back to everyone pretending that there was an actual earthquake going on when there wasn't.
They didn't ask Ronnie to come back.
Well...
Oh, well.
She probably asked for too much money.
Probably.
She is a strange ranger, let me tell you. Oh, dear. That woman looks familiar.
Nice. The Prophet of Doom, Wes Craven.
Yeah, no kidding. Prophet of Doom. Oh, damn you, Wes. Oh, she does have little flowers on her pajamas.
Yeah. This is a nice bit.
And that robe is... Oh, wait, maybe it was a pink robe that she had on in the first film.
Mm.
You know, after the bathtub scene. and Mom comes
Possibly,
in.
Possibly, yeah.
I don't know why any kid wouldn't want to watch the original Nightmare. Cinematic brilliance.
Yes.
And what a shot. Can we just talk about again how great... All he has to do is stand there in silhouette. He's not waving his arms around.
Yeah.
Or, you know, making cliches come to life.
Dance around like a
dancing. Or prancing. Or making one-liners.
Yeah.
Dude, sleepwalking is scary shit.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Oh, fuck me. Okay, so, like, the rhyme is scary enough, and they've always had kids saying
Oh, yeah.
Like, even, you know, the Jump Rope Girls, and it's... Because it's supposed to be... And they even said it's like an old kid's nursery rhyme or something. Like, there's something about a child's voice saying those lines that just goes right through me.
Yeah.
Where was the Academy on this film?
Damn straight. Give this kid a freaking nomination.
Next time I see him, I'm gonna... That didn't look very realistic, but... I mean, I like that the TV wasn't plugged in.
Yeah, I was still waiting for him to actually kind of like do an insert shot of it or something.
Right
there, it is. Because knowing of it, I saw it when they had the wide shot up from the staircase.
The balcony or whatever, yeah. I mean, how hard would this conversation be? Yeah, that fixes everything. Maybe we shouldn't go down that rabbit hole. The unplugged television bit, you know, does create that kind of supernatural element. And I guess you could say that, you know, Miko Hughes was dreaming at the time, but Nancy wasn't.
No.
She saw it. So it's a little weird.
But we're getting to the explanations of...
Well, okay.
Of what... The context of everything once Wes has his big scene. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting that, I mean, you said you had the film going on, we're about 45 minutes in, and there's still a lot of questions. You're still not entirely sure exactly what's going on, but you're attached to the characters, I feel.
You're
invested in them, so it's like you still care about what's happening, so you're still invested to find out what's going on.
It's exactly the opposite of Part 5.
Yeah.
Where, you know, you're 45 minutes in and you don't even know what anybody's about.
Yeah.
Now, granted, we have characters here that we already know about.
In a general sense.
And
actors that we're invested in with a history in the franchise.
And here's the old park scene.
Yeah. Which I guess they built for the film, then they were going to tear it down.
Well, no, it was an existing park.
Oh.
But it was, like, scheduled to be, like, torn down or whatever. So, I mean, they didn't necessarily build it for the film.
Yeah. But I guess Miko Hughes had this whole thing carted off to his own backyard.
That's correct. So. I did ask him to confirm that.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's the whole thing or if it's just that centerpiece, the rocket ship.
I know they have the rocket thing because I saw a photo of that.
And, I mean, I was like, dude, really? And he's like, yeah, I just thought it was cool, and they were gonna get rid of it, so they brought it right to his house. How cool would it be to walk up to a park and see Heather and John just like shooting the shit on a park bench?
It's like if they really wanted to make it very realistic, they wouldn't have John without his piece. His hairpiece, but I'll give him a caveat. Because he's John Saxon.
Right.
He could probably kick my ass.
Probably still. And he's 90.
It looks like it could kick my ass, yeah.
Oh. And once again, look at the difference in her beauty compared to 15 minutes ago.
She was all wonderfully glammed up. Now she's just as minimalist as possible because it's...
Right, her hair looks
very, very
gross.
Secondary to anything else. She's not done up. She's got the scar on her head and everything, so just like she's just... The terror is starting to take over.
Well, she's also been through trauma. She can't sleep.
Her kid's going wacko.
Crazy, yeah. That's a pretty good line.
Yeah.
I also never really understood why any kid would want to like climb out onto the top of that. Only because I guess I personally would never even think about doing something like this. Granted, that shot was probably done, a foot off the ground.
I'm sure they probably built a mock-up of that. They're not gonna put that kid up there. No. Or maybe not.
I mean, that could be this right here. You could see, and this, I don't know. I feel like they could have done something with scaffolding.
Maybe they had a wire harness on them or something.
Yeah.
Just painted it out afterwards. Nice.
He really jumped. And
the kid's a trooper, man.
And there's no way that would have broken the fall. Like, one of the two of them would have broken something. But that's just me being nitpicky. Oh, Frazier, you son of a bitch. Can't you just watch a movie and let it be? Sorry, guys.
She's got a bit of a limp there, so...
Yeah, sure.
Still on a little something.
In her mom jeans. Nice neighborhood where the newspaper gets put in the mailbox. You can't pay for service like that around here.
No. That backyard. Oh, here we go. Another piece of the puzzle unweaving.
Well, at this point, you don't... Oh, look at that. Now, are those pages from the Bible? Is that what those are?
Possibly. Never took a good look at
I never really did either till just now, and I thought, well, that's about Bible shape, and they looked like, Bible print.
Yeah. This is not Robert Englund's house either.
No. Robert doesn't answer the phone with, yeah. So we're back to the stalker idea. I mean, this is such a cool scene.
Yeah.
In that, here's Freddie on the phone, getting a phone call from Nancy saying, I'm having nightmares about Freddie. Oh, the old antenna. Remember you had to put the antenna up?
Oh, yeah.
On the... Oh, man. You kids today. You don't know what living was like. I mean, obviously, he's got the superior phone because it's got the hard antenna.
Not sure. Is Robert a painter? I never heard anyone discuss that.
I really don't know either. I really don't know. I know he draws.
Sketcher, yeah.
He sketches, and...
It's kind of interesting that they didn't take more advantage of exploring Robert himself in the film. Obviously, it's Heather's story, but...
Yeah, but I think they could have carved out another 10 minutes or so to really dig into his personal life.
Have him actually... It would have been nice. You had Robert Englund, then you have Freddie in the same sequence.
Sure.
That would have been kind of an interesting...
Well, and that's kind of what we have here.
A moment or whatnot, just a scene.
That's what we have right here.
But that's what they're getting at here, that he's getting some sort of...
He's usurped by the being as opposed to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Notice how it's all leaning over?
Yep. The dreaded rotating room.
Oh, we're getting there later. It's more like being on a sea vessel, rocking back and forth on a cruise ship.
I've never done a cruise. Have you ever gone on a cruise?
No.
Well, you say that like you don't want to. No? No cruise for you?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I want to survive on one for a week or something.
I would love it. I like this choral, background music.
J. Peter Robinson's score is very well heralded by fans. It's so much because we're past the synth 80s and everything, and you're going more traditional orchestral type of stuff, and it suits the overall style of the film. Because if you did synth music with this, I don't think it would quite mesh with the stylistic visuals. The visual style of the film and everything.
Agreed. I mean, the synths work really great with mid-80s, supernatural killing type things.
Oh, this is nice. So those things look sharp as shit too, man. They look terrifying.
and it's again, it's homage, a recreation of original scenes, but with the updated look. So you know that this isn't the same old stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the same old Freddy.
Yeah. Plus they got the extra blade on the thumb, which I guess Robert was a little difficult for him to manage. But it's kind of a nice addition.
I mean, that's a cool shot.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that pillow. Look at the pillow that's on that chair with the Virgin Mary or whatever. Like this Victorian...
That's kind of grandma's house type of thing.
Oh, God. And the green chair next to the mauve chair. I don't know, Heather. I mean, okay, hold on. It matches the rug. Okay.
At least there's no wallpaper.
I'll give you a little bit. You're right.
No
terrible
beyond
80s
the wallpaper.
Yeah. God. There are people in my family that still have those old consoles that you put the TV in behind the cabinets.
Oh.
I mean, creepy as shit. This could have been the trailer right here.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen those trailers where they just put a clip of the movie and it's like, 30 seconds. This right here. That. Like, this is a hold your breath kind of moment.
Yeah. I mean, kind of twice in so many minutes.
Yeah. And the old double dream.
Yeah. So limping.
Well, right, because now we know we're awake.
Yeah.
And they did, the dream within a dream does kind of create the loop sequence. Like, And he did get to keep one of those Rex toys, too. I don't know if it's that one, per se, but...
Let's hit the phone.
Oh, dear. So, okay, that's a little cheesy.
Here we go.
And the foaming. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. All of it, wonderful.
Oh.
Even
added effect.
Even that's not bad. How do you teach a kid how to do that?
I don't know.
I mean, obviously that's just natural, raw talent.
Mm-hmm.
This woman's a great character actress.
Oh, Fran Bennett is wonderful.
You know, she's been in 100 things.
I'm sure. She did like Shakespeare and everything.
Oh, so, yeah.
I mean, she's a presence. Indeed.
What a departure for her, though, to go from, you know, Bill Shakespeare over to Fred Krueger.
In a way, this also kind of mirrors the first film where Ronnie brings Nancy to the hospital and everything to get science involved.
Right,
with
the
whole
Kacha
thing.
Institute of Dream Technologies.
She's got such a great, Fran's got such a great look. She has that kind of accusatory look to
Oh,
her.
yeah.
She's got that big stature. She's imposing.
She is.
She's got all the
like,
right elements for this role.
Head nurse to a T.
Mm-hmm.
She could have made, even with that big pearl earring, she could have made a whole career out of just playing head nurse. And there's Lynn Shay.
Oh, yippee.
Another great cameo. So this is kind of cool because she knows how to beat Freddy, and you know she's saying, "You got to fight it."
Yeah. I mean, she gradually buying into some kind of reality. She doesn't understand what the hell is happening, but
right. But she knows that she's just not. Well, we know that
she's not hallucinating something. Something's actually happening. She can't explain it, but she's relying on whatever knowledge she has.
And it's not just a bullshit line.
Yeah.
You know, rote parenting.
Yeah.
It's actual, hey, trust me on this one.
They're in it together. That's the feeling.
Yeah.
Like all the other films where it's just like the parents don't know. They don't believe.
They know better.
They know better. They don't believe you. They think you're crazy or whatnot. Stick you in Weston Hills or wherever the heck it is. These two are in this whole thing so fantastically together. And again, her performance just sells that she cares on screen for this kid as much as her real child would. She would for a real child. It's so good.
Yeah, there's definitely a chemistry between them that you don't get in a lot of other films.
Yeah.
Horror or otherwise. I mean, how many times have you guys watched a movie and you go, I don't really buy that these people are related or married or, you know,
or they're
parent-child.
They're written with this much emotional
bonding.
Strength, bonding, because they go through so much together in the film.
The cowboy pajamas.
Yeah. She's got to go home and get Rex.
Or get wrecked. One of the two.
Yeah. I think she's going to see Wes now. I think that's where we're going now. Smart kid.
Absolutely.
Love this kid.
I said that before.
It's wonderful.
And we still weren't in an age here
where... He's savvier than a lot of other people in this franchise.
Oh, God damn right he is. Holy Christ.
This kid knows what's going on. Nice Volvo.
We weren't in an era here where parents could stay at a hospital. Like, I don't know. That always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. That in particular, you know, a mother and a minor child with a recently deceased father.
Oh.
I mean, I feel like in this scenario, she'd be allowed to stay with him.
Yeah.
I don't care what kind of hospital rule there is. Wouldn't there be an exception made?
Here's our B-roll footage of...
Oh, right. She's driving around. Like, this is actual earthquake. Like, that's probably not even an actor. That's just a guy standing there going...
Yeah. I mean...
Like... What?
And of course, when all this stuff happened, people come on set, they give Wes the weird eye and everything. It's like,
what did you do?
What the hell have you done?
The harbinger of death. Like, that's actual buildings destroyed by an actual earthquake.
It gives us so much scope. Just on a complete happenstance.
Right, and it wasn't even that they said, oh shit, there was an earthquake, let's write earthquakes into the story.
They were always shooting it.
Were there.
Just again, happenstance. Oh, yeah, we're riding up to Wes's non-house in Malibu.
Oh god, this infinity pool.
I guess in the original script he was going to be like a crazed maniac or whatnot, typing up a script with no eyelids, driven around by Michael Berryman.
That's terrible.
Said, no, fuck it, I'm going to give myself a palatial estate somewhere in Malibu. Screw that shit.
With some Argentinian, housemaid to bring you a cup of coffee.
It probably just came to a senses like, I'm not a good actor to sell that shit. Let me just...
I imagine Wes to be much more modest than this house.
Oh,
in real life.
I'm sure he was. But they're kind of pumping up the kind of Hollywood lifestyle a little bit with everything.
Like, they portray him as like the all-knowing, all-being...
Short of a Rod Serling type,
Right.
Just not as creepy.
Like... I can't imagine that. Like, if he knew this much about dreams, he wouldn't be a film director. He'd be like a scientist, right? Yeah. So I will say that he wrote in his own dialogue,
of course,
weaving about storytelling, and you get into. Kind of a narrative of what the storytelling aspect of this story.
Yeah.
And then it really shows how great of a storyteller he was.
Yeah.
And everything is kind of in terms, it's related to being a storyteller.
You're not getting too over complicated with how you're delivering this stuff.
And, Wes, the character Wes, is relating to the character of Nancy in terms of, like, how to tell a story.
Yeah.
And we're going to deal with it the same way you would deal with it if you were writing a story.
Yeah.
Which we are.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a mind fuck that...
Yes, I mean, the whole film's meta. But it's just layers on top of layers there. But it's not doing it where it's just... over-bloating the story and whatnot. It feels fairly streamlined.
Sure. And, maybe Wes doesn't know how to do it any other way than to, have himself be a storyteller.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise you're probably introducing some bizarre shaman or some weird...
Which is kind of how they look at him in the movie.
Yeah. But, again, you get the meta quality, but it's still... he's as much of a down-to-earth personality as you can get to convey it. Where it doesn't seem stupid and ridiculous like some other shit we you've dealt with in the sequels.
Well, because he also kind of has the air that he doesn't know what's, you know, he doesn't really know.
He doesn't know the end game.
Right.
He's trying to deal with it the only way he's been able to figure out how to deal with it. There we go.
Great photo.
Here's the further creepy moment. Every line they just said is right there on his freaking screen.
That to me,
that is the final punctuation you need to sell the entire concept.
It solidified this movie as being like brilliant to me. At, you know, a early teen, she's got the coffee pot. She's becoming Nancy again. Like, not going to play Nancy, but she's becoming Nancy.
She's found the same the pathology of it all.
Right. I mean, she's binging on coffee. She's, you know, diving into books on how to beat things.
Yeah.
There's that same close-up shot of her eyes that are just wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Nice little montage. You just kind of.
Even Rocky had a montage.
Yeah. Just to tie all the threads together there.
It's great.
Yeah. Because now we're gonna shift into high gear. That's a great shot on her.
So here's her dream coming true. Didn't she already shut it off? Did the TV come on by itself?
Yeah. It's kind of nice because now you're seeing, like, even her dreams are prophetic. They're not even just as people die as they happen. She's seeing stuff that hasn't happened yet. So it's just adding more to the mythic quality of things. Again, I really like the color scheme of the film. Just keep using all these nice blues. It gives a nice atmosphere.
Yeah, the color is often overlooked.
Yeah.
It's one of those minimal things that, you know, subconscious things that you don't really notice.
And some directors don't ever think about to really enhance a sequence.
Oh, well, now there's the biggest travesty of the whole film.
There's the crime. Scene of the crime. There we go.
Just beautiful. Much like in one, you know, through the door.
Mm-hmm.
Even this makeup is better than what we were presented with. I mean, it's still rubbery.
Yeah, it is probably the only criticism I ever had of it, that it still seems a little less than a final product in that regard, that it still feels a little rubbery.
But the design of it.
The design is very good. I think they just could have used a little bit more fleshy detail or something like that, more texture to it or something.
I don't know how it is that you get rid of that rubber look, but...
Yeah. Probably a lot of gel or something, who knows. And then
that looks pretty good, though.
Yeah, that's nice.
Bitch. She's still limping. here's kind of that a little bit of a whodunit kind of thing, because we don't really know what the stalker angle's about.
Yeah.
Well, there should be for a 6-year-old or whatever he is.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful wound.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
You know, I never really cared for the babysitter character in this.
They don't give her much to...
Like, they set it up...
Not much juice.
Just enough to make you, like, kind of wonder what she's about.
Suspect her a little bit, yeah.
But then there's no payoff. Like, they never really...
Yeah, there's nothing to it. It's just a red herring for the sake of having it.
I guess. But they don't even really develop a relationship between her and the kid either.
Yeah, there's not much meat on the bone for her to work with.
I mean, and how great is this? Because she's going to sound so crazy saying, oh yeah, I made a movie 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Which immediately sets her up to be a bad parent.
Oh yeah, she seems like she's off her rocker.
Right. Oh yeah, you let your 6-year-old kid watch this movie.
Yeah. She's
an equally bad parent.
Yeah, she's about to call Child Protective Services on her ass.
Well,
sadly,
she would have called it on Steve's mom and Nick's mom, because we were probably the same age watching Freddy. Oh. And she would totally be the bitch that would do that too.
Yeah.
Why is he in a bubble? No, like for real. Why is he in a bubble?
I don't know why he's in the cone of silence. Like he's got an infection or something, you know?
Well, yeah.
That's bizarre.
I mean, he doesn't have the hantavirus, or, you know, he's not...
Patient 0.
Right.
Took her coffee away.
At least her hair looks better now.
Yes.
She took a shower, or... Oh. I'll show you. He is just phenomenal.
He's a tour de force, man. Jesus. Oh.
Just
take that, Exorcist.
Yeah. And that was clearly like some... That wasn't even in his mouth. It was like shot out from behind him or something. But
oh, this is nice.
Yeah, this is great.
They give her a
classic line.
Nice moment here. I feel she could scare Robert too, man. She's really good in this shit.
That is Robert.
No, I mean,
I know.
I mean, yeah.
I know.
And she said when she put the glove on, she got like this like jolt of something else.
Yeah.
Like there's like a power all to its own, which I entirely believe is
100%. 100%. Only one time in my life have I ever put on a prop glove, like a real, like a good, real replica.
The real deal, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's been some cheap plastic ones, but I mean, And it wasn't a film's prop. It was a replica that somebody made, but it was high quality.
It was very, very genuine.
And I put it on, and it's heavy, like Robert said.
Oh yeah, and that's why he's got that slouch in the first film.
I'm telling you, it does. It changes your mindset. You feel something.
Yeah, feel the evil creep into your veins or something.
I think she's selling this leg more than she did 20 minutes ago.
She's got the gray hair in her hair. In there now, the gray streak.
Okay.
Screw your past.
I mean, it's almost become offensive. The blatant.
A little bit. It's starting to get a little heavy on it, but at least it makes sense for the context of what they're doing. That this entity is reshaping reality to become what he's attached himself to. It's not just fan service for the fuck of it.
I just like that she's become Nancy.
Yeah.
Wes says, "Are you willing to play Nancy?" She doesn't answer, and she becomes her anyway.
Yeah.
And you should probably stay here too. We'll just get a joint room.
I would admit her. Don't keep sending her home. Check her in, damn it. If you're concerned about her that much.
And where's the babysitter saying, "Oh, I'll go"? I have such a great relationship.
Stay here. You're exhausted. Don't go driving a car right now.
Right. It's right across the freeway. Right. Why wouldn't? Why would the babysitter, if she were that great, and not volunteer for this mission?
Yeah. Plot convenience. That's all, I guess.
Right. Only let's keep her here just in case that there's something that we can do with her.
Yeah.
Other than have her look stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. Exciting day.
This woman's great.
Oh, she's playing every range of the spectrum. It's wonderful. He's dastardly.
Well, I mean, he's suspicious. Yeah.
These devious, deceptive nurses. Mm-hmm.
Oh, the old...
Yeah, switcheroo.
The swerve.
Swerve in it. Oh, now you want to smack her in the face.
There you go. Yeah, beat a bitch. Come on.
You can't do that. Damn right she can.
That's a great line, actually.
Oh boy.
That's much harder to do than you'd think.
Yeah.
That gray does not look very good.
Yeah. It's a little frosted.
Oh, it's all your fault.
Oh, that's intense.
Yep, she knows. She wants to punch her.
Oh. Oh boy.
Oh dear.
It's not going well.
No. I mean, and again, it's very well written.
Yeah.
That, you know, it's believable from every character's standpoint.
Yeah.
Like, if you break down some of the other films and you try to look at it from the viewpoint of a secondary character, it just doesn't work.
No.
But this works from her angle. It works from her angle.
Yeah. Heather's angle, Nurse's angle, everyone's. And because it's also so well acted, too. It's not a bunch of one-dimensional hollow characters. You get a lot of dimension here to sell the emotions and everything else going on. And
that's a great shot.
There we go.
The green eyes, too. I've never really noticed that before.
And this is kind of nice here that he sees Freddy, but she can't because she's not asleep or whatnot.
Yeah, it's his dream.
I mean, it's another one of those things we criticize with the kind of conduit thing, but he's not using Dylan as a conduit to move into this world.
Right.
He's just someone who can kind of see what's going on around him.
Well,
he's aware of what's happening.
He was dreaming, and he dreamed that Freddy was going to kill the babysitter. It's not like Freddy said, "Oh, well, hold on."
There we go.
And just like in 1. Where she gets dragged around the rotating room.
Yes.
And that's not really catchphrase Freddy.
No.
That's conversational Freddy.
Yeah, that's taunting a little bit. This kid's sitting here, there's nothing he can do about it.
And this looks great.
Yeah. And this time there was no stories of sparks flying everywhere, cables flying around and shit. I think they had it a little bit more down to a...
turning by itself.
Yeah.
Overbalanced.
That's nice. It's probably a bit of a composite shot there.
I mean...
And they don't get gratuitous with it. They don't show him, like, ripping guts out and whatnot. They show enough to sell what's happening and what he's doing.
Right.
Oh, and that's nice. She's become more of a badass as the film goes on.
Well, she's more Nancy.
Ain't gonna take no shit.
Poor Julie. And getting back to that conduit thing, Freddy doesn't say, "Dylan, I need you to go to sleep and bring me victims."
Yeah. It's just like this kid has been more, like his brain's been more attuned to what's going on ahead of everything else. Hyper-aware of everything, and he's an observer. He's not really anyone who can do anything, but he's just being mentally screwed up by all this shit that's happening. Being corrupted by it instead of being used as a pawn about it. At least he's wearing a seatbelt.
Yeah,
I hate it when in films when people are driving around they don't wear a seatbelt. Drives me insane.
Well, everybody's got their thing, don't they?
Drives me insane. Check this score, man. You don't get this kind of score in a horror film. This is
although I don't know
this is really nice type of work that he did.
How would she have seen? Like, how did he get out? And how would she have just happened to notice him climbing the mountain there?
This is a fantastic sequence. Just with the effects they use and everything. This one's a little bit ropey. It's probably a digital effect that didn't come off as greatly as possible. But
yeah, on paper that sounds a lot better than...
Yeah, but this stuff on the highway, this is all like a projection. They're not just on a soundstage with a giant projection screen behind them. With all the traffic.
The cars moving,
the footage of the traffic going on behind them. Which a lot of times can seem a little off, like the projection stuff can look kind of faded, colors are off. This looks really solid.
Well, I know that she had to do this, scene like 100 times.
A bunch of times with the tanker truck. Really good editing and really good just choreography with it all. She's reacting a bunch of stuff on a screen. And it's really...
That truck is moving 60 miles an hour, and she's running 3 miles an hour. And I don't know if the timing works for me, but...
For as much as they... Like I said, the editing sells enough of it that...
Yeah, that's
just all... If you haven't watched it 50 times like we have...
All nitpicky Frazier being a son of a bitch again. Yeah.
Nice work for a stunt woman there. Get hit by the car.
Oh, Land of a Thousand Freddies.
Glad they didn't hang on for more than half a second there, because those faces looked a little...
Well, I think they were all just the same rubber masks that they had from the
that's
audience.
What I'm saying. They're not going to hold up for more than... Even in HD here, even half a second seems a little too long.
Check the Buick. And we're definitely more into kind of thriller mode here.
Yeah.
Despite there being 2 or 3 scenes of horror in this movie, like you said, it's... This is so great.
Yeah.
Fred Krueger's dead.
Yeah. Even when John Saxon thinks you're freaking flipped out, you're not in trouble.
And there was a moment there where he changed his facial expression, and that was probably the change when he went from John to Don.
Don Thompson, yeah. It's going to get more overt here when we get the... Oh.
What a great set.
Wonderful stuff.
Like, that's just great. This is just great.
Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. Now the change is going to be complete there. There it is. It's interesting that the badge says Los Angeles, not Springwood.
Yeah, you're right. Well, because Wes never gave a name to the town.
Probably not.
And they made him look younger.
Yeah. And again, this whole thing through the bed thing is again at the end of the first film, right before she turns her back on him. Now it's kind of flipped around that now she's giving into his power in order to try to defeat him.
Well, I don't know if she's giving in, but at this point she hasn't.
But she's giving into what she has to do. That she's been kind of fighting against the whole thing. Now she's embracing the reality of it all.
Because I think at this point she doesn't really even know what she's dealing with.
Yeah. Nosferatu shot right here. Entirely Count Orlok.
And the score again.
Oh, big operatic shit that you would have gotten in like a Universal horror film.
Sure. And there's the pajamas.
And for a moment there we had an orchestral version of the Bernstein theme. It's kind of playing in here. A little bit at the end of the bedroom scene there. There it is.
Just straight up.
Yeah, straight up, man. Nice to hear it.
Still gives me goosebumps
to
this day.
Now, do you think it would have been better if she went into this house and it was the same old house, or what? Because she goes in here and it's a regular house.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with this. I like that it wasn't the rundown, messed up version of the house.
Yeah, no, not at all.
There's no way that Wes would have done that.
No, he wouldn't have.
I do think I kind of like that it was just a facade.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of that mask, the same mask that, she's been, the world she's now living in.
Yeah.
And doesn't really know why.
The trail of breadcrumbs.
Hansel and Gretel.
Mm-hmm.
Wes got to make it after all. It's so good. Now, what if your kid was around that corner, lady?
Well, maybe kid wouldn't be done at that tall anyway.
I guess not. Just saying. Wielding a knife like it's... Now, here's some bad wallpaper, but it's a kid's bedroom, so...
Forgiven.
Poor Rex.
He's a little protector. Those are the same pills they were giving him at the hospital.
Right. Although I don't imagine that he would have been given like 24 of them for this, but...
It's the work of Freddy, really. Leading her into it, because they need to have the confrontation. She needs the confrontation with him. He needs the confrontation with her.
I don't know about you, but I wouldn't just swallow any old pill that I found laying around. Even...
Well, she doesn't start overdosing, you know?
But you're right. It's that,
the fairy tale.
The fact that she's bought into it
is
enabling it to continue.
Yeah. Because before it was like this entity is slowly molding the reality around her. Now she's embracing it. She can kind of utilize it and just, again, throw herself completely into it.
Like literally throw herself into it.
Exactly.
And the old house, which is a nice little touch.
Another descending motif.
Yep. And then there's this, which I'm not a fan of.
It's a little extreme, but again, we're dealing with like an ancient evil entity that's probably been around since who knows when. So he's probably got this mix of all this.
I do like
the
red and green and the stairwell.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, all this makes it like mythic type of imagery surrounding him and everything. So
I guess I just didn't know if we needed that stupid computer shot.
Yeah, the little overdone matte painting of sorts. It's a little much, but it drives home the idea straightforward. You understand. Let's move on with it.
And the little grates in front of the fire, which are similar to the boiler room.
Yeah.
And I believe the, like, what? What is that about? But I feel like...
It's Rome or something. It's Greece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the tricycle. Oh, like, there's some elements of greatness here.
Yeah.
That's the, what do you call it? The Cerberus, or with the three-headed dog thing?
Cerberus or something.
Something like that. Yeah. I'm sure we'll get beaten up on the comment section about that.
Forgive us.
Sorry, guys.
Forgive us. We're not up on our ancient mythology.
Greek mythology.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice set.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is fine production design, good production value on it, and script laying there.
That's cool, though.
Yeah, I mean, the whole film is embracing the meta aspect of things. Delve it further into, because you don't want to dispose of that whole thing of Wes is writing a script as the film goes along. Let's get this little guide in here for it to see what's going on.
I mean, I'm sure that this was not the first movie to do this, where it ended up being the script was the script.
It's possible. There's possibly something else.
But this is the first one that I remember.
Yeah.
And at the time, and even to this day, it holds up as being like one of the more brilliant cinematic ideas.
Yeah. There they are.
Oof.
Snakes.
Gross. I mean, I like snakes. I just think that that's gross. Oh, the old snake in the eye.
Oh, it's more like an eel, actually.
Yeah, it is. Old eel eye, Fred. Oh.
Oh, there you go.
She got her fuck you off. We're still within PG-13, though, I think, right? Because you got to give 2 fucks before you... So, in some ways, this is the battle that never really happened.
Yeah. It never really got a physical confrontation in the first or in Dream Warriors.
Oh, the assist from the little man.
Hey, kid's got to throw some shit in there, too.
He did the same thing to Fred Gwynn at Pet Sematary.
I mean, Fred's been fucking with this kid enough. He needs some payback, too.
And ultimately, it's cool that, you know, it comes down to Freddy, or whatever this is.
This entity.
And Nancy.
Yeah.
Was that the one right there that was unscripted? Or not unscripted, but they didn't tell him that it was coming?
Yeah, I think there was one in there that...
It was an organic jump scare?
Yeah. Where Robert asked Wes if he really wanted to turn it up on him or something. To really kick the shit out of him.
Yeah, I know there's one where they just said run around and then he appeared and actually scared the bejesus out of him.
Yeah.
But again, this kid at the age of 6 has more acting ability than half of the people in Hollywood currently.
Yeah.
And he's going into the oven.
I mean, he's all in.
The Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
You know, the witch wants him to go in the oven. He's in the oven.
Yeah.
There's the witch.
Yeah. It's like Robert doesn't get a lot of lines as this character in the film, but he's throwing himself into it probably even more than he has in a couple of the other films, I think. I think he's a little bit more jacked up to really kind of really get...
It's nice to have a script that has some meaning to it, and...
In the hands of a director he implicitly trusts.
Oh, the old extendy arm.
Yeah. And Robert,
I like it.
Yeah. I have to imagine Robert was probably, at this point, it's like, probably feeling, we probably screwed things up in the franchise. It's like...
He's feeling remorseful?
Yeah. and seeing that
you want to make amends.
Yeah, Wes wants to come back. He's got a really exciting idea. I'm going to put everything I got into this thing to really just make it scary, really kind of make them terrifying in a certain way.
I mean, that's scary for a kid.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
And she saves the day. You mean you could have gone in there the whole time, you little idiot?
Then there's a snake. Tongue time.
Beautiful. They love the tongue in this franchise. There's so much tongue. Which I guess, you know, goes back to the snake thing.
Yeah. Ugh.
And it's, I don't know if it's just a phallic or a sexual thing but that was a tongue around her tatas there. Although at this point it looks like bubble gum.
Yeah, a little bit. Bubble tape.
And the psycho theme.
Oh, nice. And then we end off the snake thing with the split tongue.
The subtleties are brilliant.
Yeah.
And just like in Hansel and Gretel, don't they push the witch into the oven?
Yeah, yeah. And then also killing him the way Freddy was originally created, being burned alive.
I mean, there really couldn't have been a more perfect ending. This is the way that the series needed to end.
Yeah.
Even that, as silly as it is...
Yeah, it's a little ropey in the effects-wise, but conceptually it works.
Right, and symbolically, too. Yeah. Because, you know, Hansel and Gretel... You know, you've got the witch, you know, and she lures the kids into the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that kind of sums up the whole series anyway.
Yeah.
And so I'm just... For me, I mean, Wes must feel like here that he was putting to bed his two ideas that... You know, the one that never got made and the one that got out of hand.
Yeah.
And he reined one in and brought one to life
in
the same movie.
I think the only thing that Wes ever was really kind of indecisive about was the redesigned Freddy look. It wasn't... Always went back and forth whether or not you liked it or not, it was the right choice or not. I can kind of see how you kind of debate that back and forth.
But I'm okay with this.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice that they give him a different look to kind of differentiate him a little bit because he is a slightly different animal in this film. So...
Well, right, because it's not Robert.
It's not really... the Freddy from the franchise. This is an entity taking on everything that encapsulates Freddy, but with a different set of motives using his methods.
And this is literally the script to the film.
This is the cheapest prop ever. You have it on set regardless. It's nice. They start the film reading the beginning of the script.
I mean...
They end the film reading it.
I mean, just fucking brilliant.
And somehow I've always liked how this just pulls back and you just have the credits start up. It's just like... It feels like a nice grace note of sorts. Everything just feels a little bit more safe.
Well,
and if there's ruins around you, there feels like...
We're just backing out of their lives, you know?
Yeah. A bowing out. Thank you, Wes.
Absolutely. Just perfect. Perfection.
And again, it's a film that feels like Wes is definitely matured from earlier stuff and everything, from like a goofy thing like Shocker or whatnot. It's very it gets very cartoony. It was an enjoyable film, but
Shocker
it's
was
definitely cheesy.
A childhood favorite of mine.
It's a cheesy film, but this feels.
I may make a push for us to commentary Shocker, but
this feels like he's gotten on a different level of developing stories.
Yeah, agreed.
And complexity and whatnot.
This feels like a very 90s song, though.
90s audio track, music track.
So, yeah. I mean, what a great bookend to the original film.
Yeah.
I mean, and in a lot of ways, 2 thumbs up for Miko Hughes.
Yes.
3 thumbs up if you have them. I feel like you could have the first film and this film, and that's it.
Yeah. Typically, you really don't need to watch Dream Wars.
You have nothing.
It doesn't add anything into the context of this film.
You could literally just have the 2.
Yeah.
Which, again, is another brilliance of Wes. You know, you don't...
Yeah. You don't really need to know that's Tuesday night on this corner of the screen.
No, he bookended his own movie by snubbing all of the ones in between.
Because, again, it's like, I don't know what the fuck these fucking movies mean. Don't make any damn sense.
So, if we include this as part of the series, which I feel like
it's on the box set, it includes
you and I both generally do.
Yes.
Now that we're done,
yeah.
Do you care? Do you want to rank? You want to put down a 1 through 7?
Well, the first one was definitely number 1.
Me too.
No doubt.
Me too.
Dream Wars is certainly the most fun, in my opinion.
Okay.
But I wouldn't rank it as high in terms of atmosphere and scare factor. It's getting more of an entertaining film, but it's not as much of a focus on terror in general. It has creepy moments, but to sum it up, I'd probably say the first one, maybe Dream Wars tied with this one.
That's exactly how I feel.
Then like 4, 2, 5, and Freddy's Dead.
I think we're on the exact same page. I think if you say 1 is 1.
Still credit Nick Corey.
Yeah, and when he signed my autograph, he signed it as Nick Corey.
You mentioned that.
I don't. What?
Probably just for recognition.
I guess.
The franchise, I guess. I'd imagine by this point he was probably started using his.
Maybe.
Name.
I don't know.
I'd have to research that. I don't know for sure.
But anyway, when you say what's your second favorite in the series, I go, well, Dream Warriors.
Kind of depends on your mood at the moment.
But then this, you know, I feel like they're different but equal.
Yeah, they're such starkly different films, but they're on the same quality for what they are.
Right, and entertainment value.
Yeah.
And then 4 definitely would have to come next.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
it's a steep decline after that.
Right, it really goes on. And then the other ones are just so at the bottom that you kind of go, well, I guess 2 is a scarier movie than 5, because what isn't?
Yeah. It's more consistent with just the performance of Freddy from the first film.
Right.
Dark and creepy and whatnot.
Right, and again, elements that are nice.
Yeah. Some good, solid performances.
But you could say that, 5 is entertaining in some ways.
5 has ambition behind it. It just didn't have the time to really kind of develop what it had on hand.
Right. And then Freddy's Dead, which I loved as a kid, really just does not age well.
No.
Hey, Lou Carlucci did do the mechanical effects.
Nicely
Look
done.
at that! So here I was making fun of him in the opening scene, and turns out it was him all along.
K&B Effects. Wonderful people.
Howard Berger, Nicotero.
Kurtzman.
Yeah. I mean, just talk about 3 Hall of Famers.
Yeah, still top of their line.
And David Miller
from the first film again.
Wow.
Wes knew who could deliver, and he brought them all on.
Brought them all, every one of them. So good.
Yeah. I guess the one thing I'll bring out is that I have heard some people really don't like this film at all.
I don't know how that's possible.
I've heard people blatantly say that they feel this is the worst film of the franchise, which I have no idea how you can rank this higher than... rank this lower than Freddy's Dead, which is just a farce.
Right.
And because like I kind of alluded to earlier, I can understand. You're going into this, you want a slasher film, and that's not really what Wes has crafted with this. It's a very different type of...
No, he made a drama.
It's atmospheric, thriller, psychological type of...
in the same way that...
supernatural thriller, more or less. It's not going for so much gruesome stuff. It's not a heavy emphasis on just scaring you every 5 minutes. It's developing a story and characters and threading mythology through it.
I would liken it, actually, to The Exorcist. Because when people say... I want to watch a horror movie, let's watch The Exorcist. I say, hold up a minute.
Yeah.
The Exorcist is a drama that just happens to be about some scary shit.
Or even like The Dead Zone a little bit.
Sure.
Has the same type of vibe to it in a certain way. It's a lot more about characters instead of terror.
Right. And again, context at the time. In 1973, The Exorcist was the scariest thing that people had ever seen.
Yeah.
In 1994, people were so, nose blind to, this whole...
Yeah.
I mean, it was like...
90s was not the hottest decade for horror. There was a lot of stuff coming out that just never catched on.
They tried to do computers too much, I think, and try to bring out... Like, gone were the old Lou Carlucci days of let's build some special effects, and the Tom Savini folk.
Yeah.
It was, let's see what the computer can make up for, and it just didn't come off well.
It wasn't... Unless you had a Spielberg budget, you weren't going to get the quality of effects you needed.
But everybody wanted the quality of these mid-'80s slasher films, and there's 100 of them that were like rental VHS house, like, oh, I remember that picture, and I rented this terrible horror movie because it had a cool box, and it just was stupid, but it was fun, and I loved it. And by this time, people are probably thinking, oh, well, that's what I'm going to get.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
No.
I don't remember losing my religion being in this movie, but we didn't have
I think from the documentary, Heather's husband in the film is actually kind of like humming it while he's driving or something.
Okay.
I think that's what it is.
Okay.
That's
from
why
the crotch grab scene?
That's why it just says written. It doesn't say performed by REM.
Okay.
So they're just giving royalties for more or less a covered version.
Good for them. Good for REM.
Others may be attributed to the overactive imagination of a 5-year-old boy. And the disclaimer for the film. That these events are not based on actual events. That's beautiful. I've never seen that before. I just caught it. That's Wes again.
Fucking Wes.
That wonderful sense of humor he had.
Unbelievable.
Someone perished during the production there. That's sad.
Well, it's also sad that our time has come to an end.
We've exhausted our discussions on Mr. Freddy Krueger.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Please comment, tell us what you...
It's been such a fun experience going through this franchise, but we'll be shifting gears.
We'll do something else. I don't know.
We'll figure something else out here. So, thanks, guys.
Shoot us up on the Facebook or the Twitter or something, and let us know maybe what you want to hear.
There'll be links in this video description and everything. So hit us up, guys. Let us know. Thanks for listening. It's been a fantastic ride on this franchise, and we hope to start up something new very soon.
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.